Hello, I'm Jim Leishman, and I'm going to be walking you through this video, which was just shot in the past week. Today's the 20th of August, and we just returned the evening of the 18th. Jeff Leishman and I finally were able to get over to the yard after not being able to go for quite some time due to the COVID-19. But the project being built, the Nordhavn 41 in Ayvalık, Turkey. You can see here a finished boat. We actually have two boats finished now, and we'll be shipping right around the 1st of September. Both boats are shipping to the West Coast. But we were incredibly pleased with everything we saw, the general fit and finish, the quality of the boat. Of course, we'd seen it through production, but there'd been a fairly significant lag of time and hadn't seen a finished boat aside from photographs. But we were not disappointed. We were, in fact, ecstatic over virtually everything that we saw. It's an amazing boat. You can see Jeff going up the side deck there. He's well over 200 pounds and can walk right up that deck. You can see that fashion board's got a curve to it, which was developed just to give you a little more shoulder space as you pass through. But the video kind of speaks for itself, and I'll chime in here where I think it's appropriate to give you some information about what you're looking at. Really nice stainless steel hardware is used throughout. Everything is real highly polished. A lot of it is custom. The cleats are custom, and it really gives the boat a feeling of the highest quality. This is a cap here which covers the emergency tiller port, which is up on the top of the taffrail there, looking down into the lazarette. This is a shot of the Hypro steering gear actuating the tiller arms back and forth. And you can see over to the right of the picture, there's a vertical shaft that runs up, and it's always there. And you can remove that cap. You can insert the stainless steel emergency tiller, and with one bypass valve flipped in the lazarette, you can take control of the boat from this area, which is off to the port side. You can virtually see around the port side of the boat. So it would be a system that you could actually really maneuver the boat. You need some help with someone at the engine controls, but a really wonderful emergency tiller system. Virtually everything that you're going to see in this video is part of the standard boat package. So it was our goal from the beginning to offer a real turnkey package, which included just about everything. It's easier to say the things that are not included, which would be the tender and a water maker. However, the water maker prep is there with the through hulls and the electrical and so forth, so it's a pretty easy retrofit. In this video, I wanted to kind of walk through the boat and open the drawers to give the viewer a sense of how much storage the boat has. And you can see here this drawer. This is part of the flatware that's included with the boat. It's a full set of dishes there that go in that drawer within their own racks. Beautiful overhead treatment. The interior styling pretty much was done by a gal named Nina, who is a designer, works in the factory. She's just incredible. She did all the 3D renderings of the boat. She's actually working on 3D renderings now for the 51 footer, but really has a knack for style and an incredible talent, and it really shows throughout the boat. These are just showing the air conditioning soffits. There's two air conditioners within the salon area, one on the port and starboard side with their own individual controls. So it was a very, very hot day in Ayvalık, probably in the mid 80s, high 80s. And we were, for the most part, having the doors open. We wanted to create as much condensate as we could to make sure that the condensate drains were working properly. But it's a very powerful, effective air conditioning system. It's a Webasto system, and it actually is very quiet too. Some beautiful glassware that Mina is providing with the name Nordhavn embossed on it. Very complete electrical panel. All the monitoring gauges there give you a pretty good idea of what's going on throughout the electrical system of the boat. And this is the standard Garmin electronics package, and the little we used it on sea trials there, it's very intuitive and a real nice package of electronics. Very comfortable seat with a bolster there. When you're maneuvering the boat or docking, you can stand behind the wheel, and there's virtually no resistance in that wheel. It is a electro-hydraulic steering system, which is just a joy to operate. You can get that helm hard port, hard starboard, very, very quickly just with a fingertip, and the boat is really nice to operate. Talking about Mina and the styling elements that she's incorporated into the boat, and those stainless steel sides. I think there's a little better shot of them later on the handrails going down to the forward section of the boat. But a lot of nice little features. The silverware receiver there in that drawer. That's a convection microwave, and then a convection cooktop above that. Real nice quality drawer slides. Interior of the drawers are all finished off very nicely. An over stove blower system, evacuation fan above the convection cooktop, and custom-made pot holders built by the factory. The Turkish do incredible stainless steel work, just absolutely unbelievably nice stuff. That's the stereo system under that cover, which there's a stereo in both the owner's cabin, guest cabin, and in the salon. There's that detail of that stainless steel on the sides of that teak handrail. It's just beautiful. And that same treatment goes on the banister rail going down into the forward section of the boat. We've always been very proud of our doors in Nordhavn's, and these doors are what you'd expect in a 100-foot boat. They're rubber gasketed, they fit beautifully, real nice hardware. They close with a real nice, pleasant kerplunk, and they're just gorgeous doors. You can see every hatch is fitted with a blackout blind and a screen. Boat comes complete with the pillows you see and the bed covers. And very, very nice lighting, indirect lighting down at the floor level, and then beautiful lighting up in the overhead panels around the perimeter. So it's a real nicely thought out lighting system on the boat. Wherever it's appropriate, there are USB fittings on the AC outlets. suspect Doug Harlow will be cringing at some of this, the reflections in the mirror and so forth, but I just thought it'd be helpful to go through an open Everlocker and give you all a good look at what's inside. It gives you an indication too of the quality level. You can just hear by the way the doors and so forth are closing. The boat is just a beautifully built boat. In our sea trials, we ended up with some pretty astounding dB ratings in Salon and in both staterooms. In the Salon, without any carpet, we were just a shade over 70. In the forward stateroom, we were, in the mid 60s. In the guest stateroom, we were in the low 60s. So that's a noise level that would be, is typical of a much larger boat. Those noise levels were at a speed of approximately 7 knots, which would be your ocean crossing speed. The boat will run much faster than that, right up into the high 8s at the continuous rating of the engines. And the dBs really don't go up a whole lot from there, so it's just an incredibly quiet boat. The stateroom underway, very nice and quiet, maybe slightly above the noise level of the guest cabin, primarily because of the water rushing along the side of the hull. It's a little more noticeable. But good hanging locker space. That has removable shelves, so you could remove a shelf and use it as a partial hanging locker if you wanted. This boat, you can see there the black vent is for the Webasto heater outlet. This boat is standard with a Webasto reverse cycle air conditioning system in all the cabins. Plus, it has a separate redundant diesel-fired forced air heater Webasto system. The air conditioning in this cabin again comes up through the louvers on each side of the stateroom. So the velocity of the air is low and reduces the noise level. It's a really nice system. This is in the Salon, looking down into the commissary, the aft end of the Salon. In the commissary, we have a washer and dryer combination unit, and then shelving and space for bins, which you could store a tremendous amount of food, stores, whatever you needed to store down there. There's quite a bit of space, and that's about a 3.5 cubic foot front-loading freezer. Moving forward, there's another hatch with a ladder that gets you down in the engine room. And believe it or not, standing in the center line of this engine room, I'd say the headroom is 5.5 feet, and I could stand there with my head just bent a little bit. But nothing but the finest equipment. That's a beautiful fuel transfer system that monitors how much fuel you're pumping, what the flow rate is. You can move the fuel around at a pretty fast rate. It runs through its own separate filter too, so it's a real effective polishing system. That's a sight gauge on the supply reservoir. It gives you real precise measurements of fuel consumption if you're testing for consumption. You can test the engines and the generator all at the same time, or the generator, or even the Webasto heater for that matter. This is the track stabilizer actuator. It's your hydraulically actuated fins. Generator, which is unbelievably quiet. When the floors are closed in the Salon, the noise level is you can barely hear the generator like above the air conditioning. Nice clean bilges. This is the access hatch to the lazarette area. The lazarette has a fire system, just like the engine room does, an automatic fire system. You see the air horn and the reservoir, the air reservoir. This panel here is that there's a lot of labeling you have to go in, and there's some protective film on that. But this is your controls for all of your battery banks, and power to your inverter and to your bow thruster. Here's the isolation transformer, galvanic isolator. So it's a gorgeous boat, and we have a separate video that we did of the sea trials. I may try to combine them, but I wanted to give you too a sense of the factory. Like I said, the first two boats are finished. The boat on the left actually is started off as the #1 boat. The #2 boat was finished in advance of the #1 boat, but both of these boats are scheduled to ship right around the 1st of September. In fact, the boat on the left there is going in the water on Thursday. Over in the far corner there is the #6 boat. The #7 boat was in the mold, and by the time we left, it was coming out of the mold. And I understand the #8 boat is laying up the end of this week. This is the #3 boat, and then you'll see the #4 and the #5 boat. Mention the #6 boat's over in the corner, and that's a boat that is sold to a Turkish client. So it'll be staying in Turkey indefinitely. That gray you're seeing there is just a protective film over the gel coat. Once they get it polished and clean, they put the film on it to protect it through the production process. So all of the parts, tanks, everything are complete for the first 5 boats, and we anticipate those 5 boats, the remaining 3 boats, all are going to be done in the next 2.5, 3 months. There's Jeff Leishman and Murat Telegran on the left there from their office overlooking the factory. He's a fantastic boat builder, very passionate, always takes the high road, just amazes us with his attention to detail and his desire to get everything exactly right. Murat is a very experienced perfectionist, and he's very, very proud to be building the Nordhavn brand within Turkey in his factory. You can see here this is actually the serial number 8, but it's being built in a #7 production slot. And the process of building these hulls in a 2-piece mold is you split the mold, you do the initial layup, and then the mold is bolted together, and the lamination continues. And this boat, I believe, is coming out of the mold next week, and then the serial number 7 boat will be starting directly after it. So I think that's about it for right now. As I mentioned, we have put a video together showing the boat during sea trials. We show the dB readings and speeds, and high-speed turns and so forth. The boat performs spectacularly. It is going to set new records. I'm sure it's going to make incredible passages at speeds that are going to be significantly more than what we've seen in the past for boats of this size. And we couldn't be more excited about the boat. Virtually every aspect of the boat is exceeding our expectations. So I hope you'll take the time to really give this boat consideration, really study it, look at the standard equipment, look at the value, and give this boat some serious consideration. Thank you.